40 days to enter a city. Gary can see Venice from here. It is a mile of water away. He's been looking at it for 22 days. Nobody thinks Gary is sick. Nobody is punishing him. This is simply what entering Venice costs in 1576. 40 days on an island, watching this city you are trying to visit. The Venetians call it quarantina. It means 40 days. That is the entire name. The waiting is not something that happens before the treatment. The waiting is the treatment. Day 1. 3 weeks earlier, Gary's ship glides into the lagoon and is stopped at a checkpoint on the water. A health officer asks where the ship is called. Somebody answers honestly. That is the end of Gary's plans. The ship is escorted to Lazaretto Nuovo, a walled island north of the city. It has been processing arrivals since 1468, the world's first purpose-built quarantine station. In 1576, it is very, very busy. Gary is assigned a small room with a bed and a fireplace in a compound watched by an armed guardian. The guardian's entire job is making sure nobody leaves early. He takes it seriously. Then porters carry away everything Gary owns into a warehouse the size of a cathedral. His luggage will be unpacked, aired for days, washed, smoked over fires, and dipped in vinegar. The Republic of Venice does not trust Gary's socks. None of this is improvised. Venice has a permanent public health office running these islands with officers, ledgers, and salaried guards, centuries before anyone knows what a germ is. They cannot see the enemy. They can see a calendar. Day 7. Gary's medical treatment in full. He wakes up, he is counted, he eats, he is counted again, he sleeps. Repeat 39 times. The theory is simple. People who wait on an island either fall ill there or they never do. The calendar is the diagnosis. Gary's timing, however, is remarkable. Across the lagoon, Venice is living through the worst 2 years in its history. The plague is inside the city. Before it burns out, it will kill more than 50,000 people, roughly a third of Venice. In August, it kills Titian, the most famous painter alive. The city pauses to give him a church funeral. Almost nobody else gets one that year. A notary named Rocco Benedetti writes down what the other island is like, the one for people who are actually sick. He says, it seemed like hell itself. Groans without ceasing, smoke from the burning of corpses rising at all hours. Survivors describe 3 and 4 patients sharing a bed. That island is holding around 8,000 people. Gary's Island, built for merchants and their crates, is now also packed with thousands of Venetians who touched the wrong doorknob. Gary begins to suspect that his island is the good island. Gary is correct. Day 22. There is exactly one leisure activity on Lazaretto Nuovo, and it is writing on the walls. Sailors, merchants, and porters cover the great warehouse in graffiti. Names of ships, inventories of cargo, dates of arrival, scratched like tally marks. Careful drawings of the boats they would rather be standing on. Gary adds one small line of his own. Day 22. Also on day 22, a man in Gary's compound develops a cough. Gary learns the fine print. 40 days is the average, not the promise. Stays here run from 30 days to over 50, and a bad week for your neighbor can become a bonus week for you. The whole compound stares at the coughing man with sudden medical expertise. It is dust, probably. Day 40. Gary is inspected. His name is checked against a ledger. His luggage comes back smelling of vinegar and smoke, officially cleaner than he is. And Gary is rowed at last across the water into Venice, where the plague is. Gary has spent 40 days proving he is not a danger to the city. At no point has anyone asked whether the city is a danger to Gary. He steps off the boat through the one door in Europe with a 40-day lock on it in the wrong direction. Epilogue. Venice did not invent the idea. Ragusa, down the Adriatic coast, got there first in 1377 with 30 days. Venice's contribution was adding 10 more days and building the machine, the islands, the wards, the warehouse, the guards. Why 40? Nobody fully agrees. 40 days of the flood. 40 days of Lent. 40 simply felt thorough. The number fused into the word, and the word conquered the planet. Every quarantine since is named after Gary's weight. The city Gary finally entered had vowed a church if the plague ever lifted. It lifted the next year. The church is the Redentor, and Venice still holds a festival for it every July 4.5 centuries later. And the graffiti is still on the warehouse walls. Ship names, cargo lists, dates. You can visit them today. Gary's line is not among them, officially. Gary's troubles are not confined to one century. History is long, and Gary lives in all of it.